Hey everyone, what is up? I am here for another episode of Adam Answers SEO, which is, if you haven't already figured it out, if you haven't already checked it out, it is sort of this subsection of the Steel Entrepreneur Show. Today I'm going to talk about SEO metrics. In a video I did previously, I kind of went into detail. I talked about TTF, I talked about some of my favorite SEO metrics, but I just wanted to talk about SEO metrics in general. An SEO metric is basically a tool or a number that we use, SEOs use, people perhaps appraising websites use to determine a site's worth or a site's authority or a site's strength or how a site will perform in Google or how well optimized a site is or how topically relevant a site is. There are metrics for just about everything. There are crap metrics, there are good metrics, there are so-so metrics, there are metrics that don't make sense. I'm not going to get into them in particular. I'm not going to talk about them individually. I did that in the last video. I am just going to talk about what an SEO metric is and how we use them. So, like I said, an SEO metric is just something that we use to measure the worth of a website. And for me, I use it a lot to get a sense of how I stack up, or how my clients stack up, or how my website stacks up to other sites in a particular search, for example, a particular search engine result. And it's not a perfect thing, but if I'm doing an audit for somebody, or I'm trying to get a sense of how much it is going to take, or how big of an effort I am going to have to create, or how much I'm going to have to charge to have somebody appear in first position in Google results, metrics aren't a bad way to get just a very quick sense. And especially if you don't, maybe you don't understand some of the tools SEOs use, but then again, I guess if you don't understand the tools SEOs use, you probably shouldn't be selling SEO. But it's kind of at a glance. Like, I get a lot of calls, and I'll jump on the call with somebody, and I don't necessarily have the time to dig through 100 backlinks and Ahrefs. So I can look at a couple different metrics and get a good sense of where they stand and what kind of project I'm about to take on. So in that sense, I think they're very valuable. But on the flip side, I think it's very easy to take them for more than they're worth, perhaps, to stop at those metrics and make decisions purely based on those metrics, without realizing that, at the end of the day, they are someone else's algorithm that they've created that they're trying to apply to every website on earth, and that doesn't make sense to a point. No one's created these algorithms, these metrics, and suggesting that it's one size fits all, or there is one metric that is true and applies to all and is always accurate. That just doesn't exist. So while, like I said, metrics can be really valuable, they can also create false hope and potentially, if you were to strictly trust these metrics that they told the whole story, you could you could find yourself in hot soup, or you could find yourself really letting down a client, or really letting down yourself. So I implore you to use metrics at a glance, but more important, I implore you to look behind the metrics, to understand each individual metrics, what algorithm is applied to your site to create a domain authority of what. What goes into that? What is domain authority looking at to determine, the value of a site? What is it missing, especially? And so what then should you be doing to compensate What should you be looking at to compensate for what it's missing, for what it's not looking at? And I think the truest way to gauge a site's worth without having analytics, and I've said this before, is pulling up Ahrefs and looking at the inbound links. That I can't think of a better way to determine a site's value, again, without knowing the traffic, without knowing the conversions, without any of that, than the links that are pointing to it. That is my metric. That isn't to say that I don't look at other metrics like DA, like DR, like TF, like CF, like whatever, but links have so much to do with a site's value and with a site's strength, especially when we're talking about how they stand in Google, and when we're talking about SEO clients or SEO projects or any of that kind of stuff. Certainly, and keep in mind, and this should be an obvious, they have nothing to do with how a site performs, or is not telling at all of how how much referral traffic or how much direct traffic or how much social traffic or whatever a site receives. That's not the story it's telling, right? So keep that in mind. Keep in mind these are SEO metrics. These are not social metrics. These are not paid metrics. These are none of that stuff. So that's really the best summary I think I can provide on metrics. They come, they go the way of PR, and they come the way of DA and whatever is to come next. And there will be more, and there will be less, and we just have to really spend some time understanding what exactly they mean and what they don't mean. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, subscribe. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'm very, very happy to answer them. If you haven't checked out the Steel Entrepreneur Show, please do. We talk about all kinds of business-related stuff, and we touch on some marketing stuff as well. I hope you enjoyed, and like I said, again, if you have, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.